What it do, good people? Welcome back to the Daniel Diagnosis. I am your host, Keith Daniel. If you don't know what we do over here, you should by now. Because what we do is shed light and spread love. How do we do it? We try to take the everyday nonsense that we go through and make sense of it all. You feel what I'm talking about? Now, I hope everybody out there has been safe, productive, and blessed. Yes, indeed. Fantastic show once again lined up for you today. We're getting right back into that Rod Hayes bag. Peculiar. It seems like the videos that I'm choosing out of his archives are like 1 year deltas. What do I mean by a 1 year delta? It seemed like he was talking about this subject that I want to talk about last year around this same time. I think this video came out December 11th, 2021. And here we at what today is December 21st, 2022. And it's funny because the conversation or the topic that he was talking about, and I know the thumbnail that he used as far as the conversation, it was Drake, Jay Prince, and Kanye West. And I just find it very coincident that right now, two of those three names are in the news, or as far as recently anyway, all right? Now we're gonna dive into that. We're gonna dive into that and much, much more. But first, we have to set the mold. You feel what I'm saying? We have to set the mold. So we're gonna run this Big Mama house. After we run this Big Mama house, we'll get right into it. See you on the flip side.
This is a Struggle Man exclusive. Shout out to all the mamas and the mamas. Yeah, the baby mamas too. Let me tell y'all what it's about. You need a place to stay, sleep on the couch. But this is Big Mama house. You look hungry, put some food in your mouth. And if you violate, we kicking you out. But this is Big Mama house. And when she leave her house, she gon' tell you she won't leave the same way she left it. Big Mama house. And if it ain't in order when she get back, then everybody getting dealt with. Big Mama house. I wanna thank you for bringing me in, mama. Look what you did, mama. Shout out to Big Mama. I wanna say I'm really sorry for the kid drama. The kids grow up to be ghosts, now I'm Big Mama. We went astray, Kill Bill didn't kill Amma. She came back for a kid, so we feel calmer. And show compassion for the ones that still honor. Black Madonna, the one and only Big Mama. Think about your Big Mama when you messing up. She gon' take you, child, you know better. Give thanks to your Big Mama, give it up to your elders and your ancestors. Think about your Big Mama when you messing up. She gon' take you, child, you know better. Give thanks to your Big Mama, give it up to your elders and your ancestors. My Big Mama name is Lenore, that means light. My mama name is Marilyn, that means she gon' fight. And my name is Keith, the meaning of that is earth. Like I can't fight, I guess for what it's worth. No guessing that what it is. My middle name is Darnell, that means the hidden place. My last name Daniel. Daniel, that means God is my judge, so I shall pass no judgment on no one but myself. So I'm a earth-born God from the order of life. The hidden one who gon' come when judgment is nigh. But near, the war is won, there's nothing to fear. You being lied to, folk, things ain't what they appear. But let me go, let me hang up this phone. I gotta get the house in order, cause my Big Mama home. I said I gotta go, dog, let me hang up the phone. I gotta get my house in order, cause my Big Mama home. Struggle. Let me tell y'all what it's about. You need a place to stay, sleep on the couch. But this is Big Mama house. You look hungry, put some food in your mouth. And if you violate, we kicking you out. But this is Big Mama house. And when she leave her house, she gon' tell you she won't leave the same way she left it. Big Mama house. And if it ain't in order when she get back, then everybody getting dealt with. Big Mama house. Think about your Big Mama when you messing up. She gon' take you, child, you know better. Give thanks to your Big Mama, give it up to your elders and your ancestors. Think about your Big Mama when you messing up. She gon' take you, child, you know better. Give thanks to your Big Mama, give it up to your elders and your ancestors.
Yeah, you are now rocking with the Daniel Diagnosis. You rocking with your boy, Keith Daniel. Go on and pull up, go on and roll up, get yourself comfortable, get your popcorn ready, take your tennis shoes off and put your Crocs on. It's going down, baby. Yeah, you got to get this house in order, y'all. Big Mama is home. Matter of fact, she outside right now. Yeah. Got some folks that's trying to keep her distracted while we get all this mess in order. Because if she come in this house and this house ain't in order, everybody getting their ass whooped. You know it just like I know it, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Now let us proceed to give the world what they need. You dig? Yeah. Welcome back to the show, good people. Like I said, we have a fantastic show lined up for you. Do we have a show lined up for you? Yes, we do. We got the general himself, Rod Hayes. Title of this video is Raise Your Thinking Level. We've been here. All right. I think it's going to be fantastic. Like I said in the intro, we got, it's crazy that he was speaking on this subject, and these guys were in that subject a year ago. Today almost. Maybe a couple of weeks over, a couple of business weeks over, you know what I mean, excluding the weekends. But he spoke on this last year, same time, same channel. You feel what I'm saying? So I just find it coincident. Now, disclaimer, I got to put it out though. This is an intellectual site, my channel, meaning that you have to have the intellectual capacity to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. We can't heal what we don't reveal, okay? With that being out the way, I ain't finna get on my soapbox today, y'all. Now, I do want to say this. I apologize. I know I'm not the most consistent person when it comes to making these videos, and I see y'all really like these videos, right? Because every time I drop one, my numbers go through the roof. So I want to first off to say salute to all of y'all out here trying to further your knowledge base, trying to make yourself better in whatever way possible. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's real, real big. Secondly, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna try to do better. Like, I'm not a guy that just sits in front of the camera all day making videos. No, I got a whole life out here. I'm just keeping it 100. I got a lot of responsibilities. I'm truly a leader in my community. You know what I mean? In my household, I own my own business. I got several different endeavors that I'm trying to get off the ground. And then I still have to get out here and do my duty as a citizen in my community. You know what I mean? So I do a lot, but I do love making these videos, straight up. And me seeing, you know, my subscriber numbers going up and the interaction that I'm getting off the video, that it does my heart good. It does my soul good, y'all. Just straight up. It's something. It's food to my soul, straight up. So I promise y'all, I'm gonna get better with my consistency and my efficiency as far as dropping these videos. Y'all just stick with me. To all my day ones out there, salute, salute, salute. You feel what I'm saying? We here now. Now with that being said, let's go and get into this video. I haven't watched it. I haven't watched not 1 minute of it, y'all. I promise you I ain't. So we gonna watch it together. From time to time, I'll pause the video and I'll comment. I've seen one comment I had on one of my videos, like, why you keep on pausing the video? I paused the video because this is my channel. This is a diagnosis channel. So everybody might not be as up to speed as others. So it's important for me to pause it and break certain things down so everybody can have a clear understanding as far as what he's saying. See what I'm saying? That's the only reason. I try not to do it too much and save all my commentary for the end, but let's be for real, man. This is what I do. I like to run my mouth. So I'm gonna pause it. I'm just not gonna pause it all that much. Anyway, so with that being said, man, let's see what Uncle Rod got to say today.
We have to raise our thinking level if we want any of this stuff to change, these conditions. We have to remember we was already here. All of us hear somebody in our family talking about, we got Indian in us. And some people think that in order to have Indian in you, you got to have straight hair. Let me tell you, that's not the case. We got all textures of hair on our land. all shades of skin was on our land. The ones who were of Irish descent that was over here, they tribes settled in the Appalachian Mountains, and they gave birth to the sniper from hunting for food in the mountains. I'm gonna do a couple. I'm gonna have to rely on y'all to share this because I'm not on my primary page, and there's not a lot of people who, nor not as many people, know about this page as my main page. But since they got me blocked, let me do a couple more here. Okay. So since they got me blocked, I'm gonna do this on this page. So y'all take the time and share so that we can get this information out to our people. Each one teach one. We all gotta reach some. And Tongan tribe, booyah, 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 up in this motherfucker. Yeah, Kind Man Samusa had been doing trade with the Americas during his lifetime. And why do you think he was the richest man in the world? Right? He got his wealth from bartering trade with the indigenous people from this side of the water, and from certain things that was over there in the Ghana area where he was from. So there's a series of I'm blocked on from doing lives on my main page, but I can do this one, right? So on this one, I'm gonna have to rely on y'all to share it to get more, a broader reach, right? So we witnessed the Kanye concert, and a lot of y'all don't know, Mother Nature towed this bitch up last night all over the place. Tornadoes everywhere, motherfucking torrential rains, high winds, all this shit been going on, and the weather is only gonna get worse till we see three kings walking the land. So when the suns come out, we gonna have the sun come out, right? They dismantled the heart machine in 2019 under the Trump administration. So since they canceled it, what y'all thinking is HARP, it's not HARP. Mother Nature's showing her natural ass cleaning this bitch up.
For everyone that don't know what he's referencing when he says HARP, HARP is basically it's like a super duper big antenna almost, and it was created to manipulate the weather. They have several HARPs all over the world. I think the one I know the one that I know of is in Alaska. I'm not saying that it isn't anymore in the United States. I haven't done my research that thoroughly on it, but it exists and it's real. I didn't know that, it was allegedly decommissioned up under the Trump administration. Now, that's something new to me, but I just want to stop. I want to say that so people understand exactly what he's talking about when he's referencing HARP. All right.
Yep, tornadoes in 6 states. We had certain places had heavy rainfall. Some of that rain turned to hail. Some of it turned to sleet. It's the winds has been blowing over shit. The strangest shit happened today. I had a black pit named Bronx, but he was a blue. But his color was black, but his bloodline he was a blue bully. And today, a blue bully came strolling past my house as a stray. And that's what we call a familiar knock to a knockback off Who Let the Dogs Out. Kanye and Drake let the fucking dogs out. So now, if we understand what we seeing with the concert, we gotta remember the OGs in California signed off on this, or it wouldn't have went so smooth, right? All of the Klan's leadership is trying to get the people to wake up to what's taking place in real time. So we got to raise our thinking above the corporation and the slave mentality that they gave us with their religions and their dogmas and their political upheavals all across the land. Yep. They gonna give me shit because I'm gonna drop this motherfucking shit. So I don't give a fuck. Let them give me shit. I don't know what your question is, sweetie. Why would they sign off? But so in 2017, the corporate side passed the Indigenous Rights Act, right? So look up Indigenous Rights Act of the United States, and it tells you clearly in there that the tribal chiefs have the first right to restore the land to its natural balance with nature. Period. And that means everything outside of DC is tribal land until DC went bankrupt. And now that's closed, which will be reincorporated under the tribal lands doctrines. Now, they sit here and they listen to me tell y'all the history of stuff like Islam, Christianity, Judaism, the rise and fall of the Roman Empire that's just now falling, because that's Babylon from the book of Daniel that you see where this single stone was hewn without the hands of a man and struck the feet of the giant, which was made of iron and clay. That's the artificial corporate fiction. So now we in the process of trying to get the people to know, not guess, not think, not go by what somebody else told them. Tune in to the God within so you can know who on the right frequency and who not. A whole lot of people gonna try to sell you a whole lot of shit, but I'm not selling anything, right? Under the Vatican is catacombs, and the catacombs under the Vatican is where the one we call the Great Dragon was living for the past 6,000 years. And the reason why he had 6,000 years to rule, because we going out of the lunar age and going into the solar age. That means we going out of the silver cycle, which came with weather conditions that was cold, drab, snowfall, all that. Now we going into the sun cycle, and the government is talking about global warming and the heat up of the planet. The global warming that they talking about, if you read the ancient record, it is the changing of the cycles at the close of the age. So the reason why the beast had 6,000 years to rule is because she won a war by infiltration. And when she won that war, then she had the mitochondrial right to rule, but she don't look like a female, right? So she stayed under the Vatican. Well, that bitch dead now. Good riddance. And so they were the ones having a loyalist boots on the ground doing a dirt for them, like the Bush family, like the JDL. They had contracts and agreements made through blood rituals and blood oaths with the conquistadors. And she promised that they would be able to overtake God's children and rule earth. That's not going to happen. So what all we have to do is know who we are. We automatically exclude all imposters just by knowing who the fuck we are. We was already here. We didn't come on ships. They came on ships. Then they told us their story with a twist. Then they took some of our people and under the Back to Africa movement that they created under James Monroe, and they did the Liberia Project, which moved or displaced a lot of indigenous people from this land and took them to a foreign land. Right? Now,
before we get too far, because I want you to understand, he told you to go research the Indigenous Peoples Act, right? Well, I pulled it up, and this is a summary of it, and this is what it states. Indigenous people have the right to own, use, develop, and control the lands, territories, and resources that they possess by reason of traditional ownership or other traditional occupation or use, as well as those which they have otherwise acquired. Let's continue.
Over there waking up talking about, where the fuck am I at? I'm over here in my cousin's house. What the fuck am I doing here? Right? All the time we over here reclaiming our shit by putting it out into the public domain. Who did it? Jewish Defense League, Zionist Moors called conquistadors. What did they do? They used religion, child sacrifice, baby rape, blood rituals to keep us dumb, blind, and deaf to the fact that we was already here. Then they use their education to miseducate us on purpose. And once they had us miseducated, then they tried to insert an artificial history into our memories by telling us that we came over here packed like sardines in a slave ship, 2,000-3,000 strong, on a 6-month cruise with no running water, right? Because they say we didn't have no running water. You got no running water, so ain't no water hoses to wash this motherfucking hull of the ship. So they can't wash it. What is they doing with all the piss and the shit that's turning into fumes? Right?
Man, that's my number one argument when I argue with anybody. I'm like, you cannot live in those conditions for a month, let alone a 6-month voyage, man. Piss, shit, vomit, menstrual crap. Like, bro, like, think about what's going on. Think about what they tell us. It don't make sense.
What is they doing with all of the vomit from those who get seasick from the waves? Where is all this shit going when you got 1,000 people? Even if you only got 250 people, what are you going to do with the waste product when you don't have flushing toilets on a ship? Right? This the bullshit they telling us to believe without questioning it. And then when you start questioning it, you have some Negro come in and tell you we came on some goddamn slave ships. Where you from? We not Negroes. We ain't black. We ain't color folks. Truth be told, we ain't either Indian or indigenous. We are an ancient species that was native to this planet. We've been here from the beginning, and we gonna be here when all of these dirty motherfuckers is gone. So they came and they upset the peace. Now it's time to establish justice, and you establish justice by being right and telling the goddamn truth. Right? So they clearly tell you that the conquistadors followed Columbus over here. So we know who came. They tell you in their history books, Christopher Columbus, why did he come? Now they come with some bullshit story talk about he was looking for an alternative trade route to India. Now remember, Mansa Musa been trading this bitch for all his life. He left one of his brothers over here in the islands with the rulership staff to make pacts and agreements with the chiefs of the land before it was any conquistadors. We got along fine. They didn't have no problem with us. We ain't had no problem with them. Right? Now, at the same time we being colonized over here, they colonizing Africa, they colonizing India, they colonizing Asia, they colonizing Australia, they colonizing New Zealand. These motherfuckers is colonizing everywhere. Now, how you know they not us? Everywhere they colonize, they are a cancer to society. They are a cancer to the mentality and the well-being of the people. They are cancer that causes you to have cancer by putting poisons in your food product, right? So they told us, we Hebrews. I ain't no goddamn Hebrew. That's some Middle East shit. Don't have nothing to do with us over here. While they was over there dealing with Abraham, we was over here dealing with Quetzalcoatl. While they was over there teaching about Jesus, we was over here teaching Popol Vuh, right? Kukulkan, right? We got our own religious texts that predate anything they have written down. So who we gonna go with? We gonna go with the story of the invaders telling us, or the history our ancestors left for us. And if we go with the history our ancestors left for us, though they did right, our rule is done through what we call oral tradition. They only got a couple more days to produce the king, and Mother Nature really gonna be upset. Because the next wave, she gonna tear this bitch up on a level unheard. Right? Yep, the Tongan Islands, they colonized. The Samoan Islands, they colonized. The Polynesians, they colonized everywhere. They put their minions everywhere to miseducate, mislead us. So now here, what are we gonna do? Right? What are we gonna do? First, before we tear anything up, we have to stand up together in unity and overcome the obstacle we face with, what we face with. The colonizers is trying to recontract using a paperwork system to deceive you back into the same bullshit they tricked your ancestors into. They have not honored one motherfucking treaty. By being in default of all the treaties, it automatically give us the position of the treaty right. I mean, we can enforce the treaties by nullifying them due to what they call non-performance. Non-performance means they didn't do what they said they was going to do according to the contract. In every treaty, you cannot find one treaty that wasn't violated. So if they violate every treaty, and the books say everywhere they go, they cause mischief and bloodshed. Now, they violating every treaty. They're not supposed to kill the chiefs of the land, but they killing them, right? They're not supposed to take the chiefs off the land in order to reorganize the land, but they locking them up. Then not only are they locking them up, they locking them up for the exact same shit they doing. And we not seeing it. We have to see above the level of this corporate fiction. Right? When you see it for what it is, it's only a motherfucking government in two-dimensional form, meaning on paper. It's not a three-dimensional construct. It's a two-dimensional construct. All you got to do is add one thing to it, and it all comes the thing being is the truth. When you tell the truth, their system can't stand in the face of it because now they have to answer to why all law is commercial. They have to answer where these barristers come from. They got to answer why are all of these non-Article 3 courts sending people to prisons. Then they got to say why is all state law, civil law, and federal court, meaning that in civil law, you can't lock nobody up for a debt. But they're using it under false pretenses, right? Now, when you question them, they get upset. Let's take the friend of the court, who women have been weaponizing against the people of the land in order to keep the men from being able to produce for his family if he have one or two older children before he decide to settle down. He's not economically viable to settle down under the conditions that the friend of the court have them. Friend of the court is not a child support agency. The friend of the court, when you go into the law, what a friend of the court is supposed to be doing is an independent fact finder that produces facts to the court, that shows that there's an injustice somewhere being done and who's behind the injustice in the case that's at bar. everybody that's being took to the friend of the court, man or woman, or their children, when you put your children in the friend of the court, you are asking the government to be the third parent, which under the corporate fiction, the government is the third parent anyway. So
All right, let's talk about this friend of the court, amicus curiae. You know, everything's gonna be in Latin now. Amicus curiae, or however you pronounce it. An amicus curiae is an individual or organization who is not a party to a legal case, but who is permitted to assist a court by offering information, expertise, or insight that has a bearing on the issues in the case. The decision on whether to consider an amicus brief lies within the discretion of the court. Let's continue.
the Supreme Court of states are using the friend of the court as a de facto collection agency, meaning that they acting under the color of law, but the jurisdiction doesn't grant the privilege that they are executing under the color of law. So when they violate all their treaties, when they whole system, it tells you in their system that it's a fraud. When you understand that we have the first right to restore the land and the people back to whole, and you begin to understand it from that perspective, you realize who you are, because they want to steal your birthright. And the only way they can have your birthright, you have to surrender it willingly, or you have to be declared an imbecile in law, which gives them, according to the papal bull, the rights over the imbeciles who cannot manage the affairs of their estate.
Okay, right there. So we go back to what he was speaking on earlier, and then you apply it to, okay, we're going to talk about, remember I read you the Indigenous Peoples Act, right? So the Indigenous People Act, if we're indigenous, that act should apply to indigenous people. However, due to the amicus curiae, or the friend of the court, they come along with this extra information, not really up under the color of law, but just being an expertise, and they saying otherwise, which robs us of our right because of some BS educational information, allegedly, and it makes us not who we are. So basically, like, a scientist can come in and give their theory about where we come from, and we all came on boats from over here to Africa, and this, that, and the third. And up under the letter of the law, which is the judge at the time, he allows that into evidence because this person is an expertise person. You see what I'm saying? So now we get, so at that point, if we allow that to happen, guess what we are? We're imbeciles. So let's see what imbeciles of the law is. I'm gonna pull that up, but I'm gonna let it ride.
So I seen a video they sent me last night, and they had the brother Blue Pill and a couple more guys on there, and they was going in about the metaphysics to the whole Larry Hoover situation. And y'all probably should check that out on YouTube, because the metaphysics of it is the spirit science behind the physical alarm that I'm sounding when I'm telling y'all this shit.
All right, now, an imbecile law and legal definition. An imbecile refers to an individual who lacks normal mental ability, but not complete or absolute. In law of lunacy, an imbecile is considered to be of greater mental abilities than an idiot. Understand what they're saying now? An imbecile is considered to be of greater mental abilities than an idiot. So a person that doesn't have the proper education on a certain subject can be labeled an imbecile, not an idiot. So you can have a master's degree in economics, you can have a doctor's degree in psychology, you can have all this, but you can still be an imbecile of law if you don't have a certain understanding or a certain knowledge base on a certain topic. You feel what I'm saying? Because again, You're greater than the idiot. You have better mental capacity than the idiot. That's how they get us. Shit crazy.
Right? So we standing here and we looking at the fall of the legal fiction and the rise of the juristic persons, the sovereigns of the land, to reclaim the land back. The Free Larry Hoover slogan, as I said with the sister yesterday, it encompasses more than Free Larry Hoover. That's why all of the OGs was on board with Jay Prince, with bringing a Chicago artist and a Canadian artist to Los Angeles and to put this shit on the floor, because it got to start in Los Angeles. Los Angeles is where we stick the dynamite in the tailpipe and blow their asshole loose. They not bullshitting on the West Coast while the rest of us are sleeping. Our brothers and sisters is out there standing firm. We ain't backing the fuck down. So we gonna either join them or be left to be feed for our enemies.
And see, that's what I was saying in the intro. Like, it's just coincidence that all this crap is happening now. And then he's speaking on this last year when Jay Prince brought Ye and Drake together and they did this Free Larry Hoover concert, which they did in LA. But now, when you fast forward a whole year later, what's in the headline? You got Whack 100, which is a LA guy. You know what I mean? I think he's a LA Pyru or whatnot. And he's bringing light to the Larry Hoover situation. And who is he talking about? Who is he going up against in this situation? Jay Prince. All right, now we can get caught up into the entertainment of it and thinking like, okay, they got a beef for this, that, and the third. But maybe that beef ain't what we think it is, and it's just another way to get us to look at this Larry Hoover situation. And then, if you notice, on one of my videos that I posted recently, Ye, after he has been shadow banned and blackballed off of all social media, who gives Ye a platform? Whack. From where? LA. I'm telling you, man, it ain't too many coincidences. That's why I say this is one hell of a 1 year delta right here. That's right.
Any turncoats and traitors will be left to be their food, because that's what they're going to do with them. They're going to eat them. So when you see motherfuckers being lifted off the earth, believe they not us. Believe them motherfuckers don't belong here. Believe they not staying here. Right? So to break out of the mindset of the paperwork that they got you in, the paperwork is using all of this other foreign languages that you have no knowledge of. It takes years of studying this shit, and that's why I had the hardest job. I had the hardest job because didn't nobody else want to do all of that work. It's a lot of work. I don't care. Big Mama asked me to do something, and my mama asked me to do something. Right? So it's going to get fucking done. I'm going to keep on coming on this motherfucker. I'm going to always find an outlet for my voice. Every time these motherfuckers shut me down, I'm going to pop the fuck back up somewhere else, dropping these motherfucking jewels on the community until we see what we need to be seeing. This is the moment of truth. And the moment of truth is when the bull finally see the matador behind the cake. I'm showing y'all the man behind the curtain is a fraud. This Big Mama house. That's a vice lord now. Black and gold. This Big Mama shit. And Big Mama got on man shoes. And when Big Mama put on man shoes, Big Mama got her gun. And Big Mama carry a big fucking gun. And that's why Hatshepsut wore a beard. To make sure you motherfuckers understand this Big Mama shit, and she sent her boys in here to get shit, we not gonna stop until we figure out a way. We not gonna stop until we find a solution to the problem. So, from Big Mama house, Big Red, my mama, said, get Big Mama shit, and Big Mama gonna make sure we all get our shit. So now I'm on the march for Big Mama shit. Because Big Mama said, these motherfuckers don't belong here. We don't know who they is or where they came from, but they can't stay. And if Big Mama can't say, then this is the eviction notice. Notice to principal is notice to agent. Notice to agent is notice to principal. Public notice is acceptable vehicle of legal transmission. The legal transmission that we have issued is a habeas corpus that expires on the 12th. We need to see Three Kings walking by the 12th, or Mother Nature is going to shake these motherfuckers into a new millennium and a new reality that they're not ready for. Right? So, man intervention has been trying to stay volcanic eruptions. Man, through human intervention, has been trying to use certain conjures to reverse these weather patterns because their heart machines are disabled. But man is incompetent and inept when he's facing Big Mama. You can't beat her. And you definitely can't beat the Queen of Heaven and Earth, her favorite daughter. So, being that this is Earth, and Mother Earth is the favorite daughter of the Great Mother, which is the universe, and it is being symbolically ruled by the Queen of Heaven and Earth, which is Isis, who has been usurped by the Dragon Queen, who don't look like us, got to stay hid so we won't see who the bitch is and lose all her power. So, when Big Mama sent her boys to do something, there's one thing about us. These country boys may talk a little country to y'all folk. We might not use great grammar all the time. We might talk a little funny to some of y'all. Y'all might not understand the southern drawl. But I tell you one thing. Country boys ain't dumb as y'all think they is. You understand what I'm telling you? Country boys ain't dumb as y'all think they is. Every time y'all come down here trying that stuff, we always come out one on top. So this is where we at with it.
Shout out to the country boys out there, man. Alabama, stand up. You know what I mean? One of the last free states around here. Whether you know it or not, Alabama, stand up. The great state. We them real country boys. Hey, shout out to all the rest of y'all country boys now. I mean, I'm a South guy. Like, I'm an SEC fan, so don't get it twisted. I love everybody, but I love the South. I love everything up under that Mason-Dixon line. But, boy, you just don't know how much I love the state of Alabama, boy. It's something about it down here.
Line that shit up. Do the math. Do the algebra, the trigonometry, the geometry, the astronomy, the astrology, the physics, the metaphysics, the quantum physics. All of this shit gonna equal up to one thing. Big Mama home. Period. And when Big Mama come home and her son been telling you to get the fuck out, now she gonna take the motherfucking gloves off and you gonna see hell like you ain't never seen until Big Mama get happy. She gonna rain terror from the skies and she's gonna shake the ground until you motherfuckers wake up. Right? So we need to be alerting every media that we can use to get the word out. Every one of your favorite celebrities have a platform of millions. We need to be bombarding them. You ain't selling no records if you ain't pushing the Free Larry Hoover agenda. Period. We the ones who buy their records. You will not motherfucking make a movie that we gonna watch if you not using your platform to free Larry Hoover. Because with Larry Hoover comes all of our political prisoners that COINTELPRO launched out their attack, sacked us, and took the leadership from the people so they can mislead the people themselves. Y'all can either keep falling for the dumb shit or y'all can stand up. So tomorrow is 12/12. That's 33/21, which is another 3. That's 33 and the third on the master knot. Right? And then the next day is 12/13. That's when Mama home. Queen Mother. 13th seat of the zodiac. They tried to change the gender and told you that the grand man in 12 parts. But the male of their species has a man womb. They seahorses. They ain't like us. They look like us. And then they got a whole bunch of minions that's similar to us. but they don't vibe on our frequency. They don't understand the concept of unconditional love, and they don't understand that if you want the future to be secure, you secure the children. They don't want us to know this shit because they can't control us when we do. Their whole crucifixion story is just that, fiction. The crux of fiction is at the point where the fiction begins. It's strange that nobody noticed that Christianity is older than Judaism. It's strange y'all don't know that. It's strange that nobody knows that the Bible was put out in the public domain before there was a Torah. But they broke it in half. Because they needed a multiple angle attack, a 3-tier attack. So they came in as conquistadors, then they came in as Christian missionaries, then they came in as Islamic zealots to propagate their bullshit all across our land. So we be so busy fighting about Judaism, Christianity, and Islam that they done rocked us to sleep and took all our shit.
Bro, he blew my head, like my jaw hit the floor when he said the crucifixion is just that, fiction. The crux of fiction. The beginning of the fiction. Damn, boy, I never looked. And I'm big on etymology and breaking down words, but boy, he got me with that one right there.
Chief Pontiac said they came over here with their Bibles and told us to bow our heads and pray. When we raised our heads up, we had the Bible and they was controlling our land. So what we gonna do? What we gonna do? We need to get the word out. This is more than Larry Hoover. This is Assata Shakur. This is Imam Jamal Al-Amin. This Mumia. This all of the motherfuckers that didn't put their life on the line to try to get us free, and we left them hanging. We left them to rot in prison. We left them to get murdered. We left them to get castrated and lynched. We left them to get tarred and feathered and set on fire. We left our leaders at every turn, and without no leadership, there is no direction. Right? So this time, the leaders is hesitant to stand up for the people because the people won't stand up for the leader. It's a mutual symbiotic relationship between the leader and his constituents.
I'm sorry, y'all. I know I'm tapping this damn pause button a lot, but fuck that. I gotta. Boy, listen, he is absolutely right, bro. You gotta understand. I know it's a lot of motherfuckers like me that. No, do you understand how long it took me to actually get to this point and be like, hey man, I'm finna get out here and I'm just finna do my thing. When you get tapped by a higher power and be like, hey man, you got something you got to say. I need you to go on and get to work. It hit different. And the reason it hit different is because we're traumatized. We've seen what happened to our leaders when they came and they spoke up on behalf of the people. We've seen what they did to them. They did everything Rod Hayes just said, bro. So, and when it happened, what did the people do? Not a motherfucking thing. They just got more pussified. They just sat back and said, fuck that, man. You see what happened? And then everybody be like that, like, man, shit, I ain't finna get out here and goddamn go to bat for no motherfucker that ain't gonna go to bat for me. They ain't gonna do nothing but knock me off. Then what? These motherfuckers ain't finna goddamn ride for you. You know what I mean? Like Nip was that shit, man. If something happened to me, man, the hood better ride. Boy, the hood ain't rolled yet. Just straight up. And that was the problem. But now, the bull see the matador that's sitting behind that red sheep. The veil's been lifted. See, we like shit get deep, man. I'm gonna digress. I'm gonna leave it right though, but
between the people of the land and the leaders on the land that need to be walking the land as free men. You cannot be a bond servant and negotiate liberation and freedom. You got to be free if you're talking about freedom. This is why you could never get free, because we've been always arguing for our freedom from a bond servant's position. as a corporate legal fiction. They don't got to give you nothing. Malcolm said, we fighting for civil rights. What about human rights? Basic human rights, basic human dignity, basic motherfucking shit. Food, clothing, and shelter. What about that kind of shit? What about common courtesy and walking down the street and just speak to somebody because y'all caught eye contact? You don't know them and they don't know you, but the only way to tell the truth and break the ice is speak. No, we don't want to do that because they didn't put a nigga in our community that told us, look at that nigga staring at you, you gotta punch him in his shit. Then when you punch him in his shit, y'all get to scrapping. When it's all over, this nigga nowhere to be found. Then when you bump back into him, damn, that shit got thick, dog. I had to get out of there. Churncoat ass trader motherfuckers the same way sold out Denmark Vesey, Gabriel Prosser, and even tell you in the story in Nat Turner that he was sold out by slaves, by niggas that look like him. They didn't call them slaves. They just said a Negro.
I'll go one further. Even if you want to go take this back to the Bible. Who the hell turned on Jesus? Think about it now. His own damn people. Jesus was a Jew. Who sold him out? The Jews. Who killed them? The Romans. Like, it's always been like that, bro.
A Negro alerted the authorities while they were asleep. A Negro from among them. We ain't Negroes. Y'all gotta remember that. They've been telling us the whole time, these Negropeans that's call itself the white man, but he ain't white, that been stuck up in our communities feeding us bullshit to keep us deluded into believing we from somewhere we not from, so therefore we can't say who we are. Right? Some of y'all don't know who Goodwill's Witathini is, but he was the king of the Zulu Empire in South Africa. And he recently passed right after Credo Mutwa. But all of his constituents knew who he was. And the government of South Africa wouldn't fuck with him because that would cause a wrath of the people like none other. But here we is over here twiddling our thumbs and masturbating because it feel good but don't produce nothing, while our leaders is suffering, the ultimate suffering on the behalf of the very people that's supposed to be fighting for their freedom. It's not hard. Stand the fuck up. You leaving all of the stand-up motherfuckers incapacitated while you leaving all these lay down and take it up the ass niggas in the street. They homosexual cult makes them push a homosexual gender so that they can convert and feminize your sons to act like daughters, so there's no defense for the women when the women decide enough is a goddamn enough. Who gonna motherfucking enforce that shit for you, all your boys sissies? But they say don't say nothing about the elemental Pew community. Fuck them motherfuckers. That shit wasn't over here before they came, and that shit can go back to Europe or wherever the fuck they brought it from, because it's not native to Earth. Right? They tell you in the same shit they brought over here. A man is not to lay with a man as a man lay with a woman. That's they shit that they brought over here while they doing exactly that. Fucking a boy, raping the kids. They doing all of the dirt on our shit. Right? So it's up to us. It ain't up to them. They don't control our destiny. We do. Yeah, Lovecraft was actually a loose depiction of what's going to be going on now. When you see all of the different ancient people from different countries around the world just so happen to pop up in America, that's American Gods. Lovecraft Country was about the grimoires, the family records, and the family record book that's kept in cave tunnels so that you can't never see what the fuck is going on and where your people at. We all over this bitch. They kept record. They couldn't do it without keeping record. They know what tribe you belong to. You only got to worry about that shit. You just got to disassociate from the legal fiction. The legal fiction is an artificial corporation that they calling yourself your government. Right? This is why they talking about indicting Nancy Pelosi, bitch ass, because the Speaker of the House is the leader of the government, not the president who leads the military. Right? So they got us all deluded into how the politics work, how the legal system work, in varying different aspects of shit like that. Right? Well, we ain't tricked no more. We not tricked no more. So, I'm looking in here just in case I got some good questions, because sometimes they come up. Yep, masters are here. In force. They all on this side of the water right now, from all over the world. Right. Oh yeah, Credo is my dude. So, when you understand what's going on, you become obligated to teach somebody that don't understand what's going on. And this is why I'm doing this. I hate social media with a passion. I don't like being out in the public domain. I don't like being one that got to come and tell everybody about the problem. Fuck what I like. We in trouble. They already here. We in trouble. They already here. So since we in trouble already, and since they already here, fuck what I like. I don't care. I don't have to be comfortable. I don't have to be smiling. Right? But I gotta tell y'all. Somebody popped the question in. So oracles and empaths, get your downloads. Tell it to the public what you're seeing in relation to the situation. Tarot carders on your platform, do a free Larry Hoover reading. Find out what the universe got to say about it. Formulate the question how you think it need to be formulated, because you're going to get the most accurate answers. When you put your own magic into it, you make it as strong as it can be. So the empaths and the oracles' job is to check the information with spirit. That information that I'm dropping, check me out. Check Larry out. Check out Chief Malik Angel Bay. Check out Big Tukey. Pull cards on all of them. See what they doing. See what the universe want them to be doing. See if they're the ones you need to be aligning with. It's going to tell you the exact same shit I'm telling you. Whether you pull it in the cards, whether you flip it in the motherfucking I Chings, whether you do it with the motherfucking sticks, whether you do it with the entrail reading, whether you do it with what you call the cold empath dry reads, it doesn't matter. They're going to tell you the same thing. This motherfucker right here, right? Larry Hoover, Angel Bay, and Big Tukey, the three kings that need to be on the land, they're going to tell you. Don't believe me. Use yourself as first frame of reference, and your emotions is your navigation system. Tap into the energy frequency of the universe and then ask the question. Let it sit, and the answer gonna occur to you. That means the universe finally when you're waiting on the answer to occur to you, the universe is finding how will you receive the information best to let you know that you're accurate before it gives it to you, because you cannot lie to yourself. So your higher self that's tied directly to source is going to put the information in a certain way to put it back to you, where you know for your own self, for nobody don't got to tell you shit. I ain't got to tell it to you. Them preacher ain't got to tell it to you. The imam ain't. The rabbi don't. You already know. Especially the empaths, especially the tarot readers, check this shit out. Do full tarot spreads on your platform the same way you want celebrities to be called. If you ain't supporting Larry Hoover, we finna stop buying your records. When they start getting 200-300 of them motherfuckers a day, they gonna know I can't run from this no more. There's no way I can stay silent and then continue to survive at the level of luxury I'm at if these people stop supporting my industry, my product, my labors of my soul, my passions. If they stop buying my records, they stop buying my books, they stop watching my movies because I don't support the indigenous people of the land by screaming free Larry Hoover, I'm going to have to do something. I got to figure it out. Let me go talk to my A&R guy. Let me go talk to my manager, my business manager, my accountant, my tax consultant. Let me talk to my mama, my grandmama. But them motherfuckers gonna have to use their platforms when the people demand it to push the agenda. Period. So when y'all understand what's taking place, I'm telling y'all who the three kings that's rightfully heirs to the land.
Now again, this was December 11th, 2021. What the hell happening to Kanye West right now? Because he's speaking now. I don't care if he's saying that we the real Jews. Like, at this point, we gotta throw titles out the window. He's waking up. He's wakening up an entire group of people. Same thing that he's saying. And we seeing in real time how they're castrating him. Now again, in my head, I'm thinking like, well, all that could be a play. Because they know that we're here at this point in our life right now. In this timeline, we here now. So to get in front of it, they got to get someone that can actually fit the bill. And as long as he can say certain things, because think about it, what he's saying, it ain't the same thing Rod's saying. Rod's saying that, man, we already been here, this our shit. You see what I'm saying? Kanye saying something similar, but he's doing it in a way to where it doesn't send the masses into a spiraling usurpation, if you will. You see what I'm saying? So now we're here, like, we have this person, even with Kyrie Irving. You see what I'm saying? You got these people now. But what we do as a people, we call these guys crazy or whatnot. Not understanding that everything is put in position for a reason. Because who did that concert for Larry Hoover last year around this time? Wasn't it this same guy that's putting us on point with a whole lot of the bullshit that's going on in the industry? I digress. Let's continue.
These are the ones Big Mama want walking the land as free man, claiming they shit so that they can put Big Mama back on her fucking throne. And until that happen, the weather is just gonna deteriorate. Motherfuckers gonna start dying from weather invasion. Hurricanes, earthquakes, tornadoes, motherfucking tidal waves, tsunamis, hailstorms, sleet. It's gonna happen everywhere. There's no escaping this shit. This is a universal and galactic dictate that this takes place. It's only up to the people now, right? It's the people's responsibility to decide to choose freedom over slavery. It is the people's responsibility to find those pushing the liberation and freedom agenda to their freedom to get the message out. And
again, why did we try to cancel Kanye about a year or two ago? He wanted to say slavery at this point in our life is a choice. What you gonna choose? Freedom or slavery? A lot of us, and I mean a lot of us, are choosing slavery with our free will to be the ruling guide right now, instead of choosing to be free. We got so many talents that we can use for ourselves that God blessed us with. However, we choose to be enslaved by this corporate structure that we call America.
And support that message. You have to be clear on who you are and what you're capable of before you can even know who you are and what you're capable of. You're going to always be second guessing yourself if you don't take some form of action. Everybody that be watching me that understand what I'm saying need to be doing the same goddamn lives right after me. Tell it from your angle how you see it. Don't tell it how I see it. You can use what I see to help you see better from your angle. And the more angles we hit this shit, right? That's the more angels we inject into this shit. And all of the angels is solar oriented because they come in on angles of light. That means when they solar oriented, they soul oriented, and we are the soul people of the earth. We are the salt of the earth, the seasoning, the shit that make this motherfucker say ooh la ah. That's why we here, right? To uplift each other, raise the frequency of each other, and when that happen, we pop they motherfucking badussi. Just like that. We got to overrun. Yep. Goddess Makita, the waters are coming soon. Empath. Yes. And so, all of this is instrumental. There's nobody that's not valuable or needed. Everybody, every child. Ask your baby, your 7-year-old, let him listen to the video, record what the baby say. The baby gonna tell you something. I don't know what he gonna tell you, but he gonna tell you something more closely tied to the truth than a brainwashed, grown ass, go along to get along, bootlicking, tap dancing, brown nose, slave minded motherfucker. The babies ain't corrupted yet. So they only know to tell you the truth. So when the baby's telling it to you the same way I'm telling it to you, y'all need to listen. They ain't been lied to thoroughly enough yet for them not to see the problem. And not to see the ones who see the problem and speaking the truth. Put your baby by the screen and see how they react. Watch the expressions on their face when they know that the truth being spoken. Fuck these grown motherfuckers. Right? Especially the sisters. You don't have time to raise a 35-year-old, 6-year-old. You don't have time to raise one. It's too late for that now. He gonna either have to man up or bitch out. Them is only two options. You can't sit there and nurse this motherfucker insecurities when he know he's supposed to be standing up and he asking all these coward questions. Well, what if I do this? And what if I don't do that? Man, fuck what you talking about. You either gonna stand the fuck up or you ain't. Quit trying to negotiate whether you stand up or not. It's non-negotiable. It's only two positions in this shit. The right side and the wrong side. I'm choosing the right side. I'm choosing the right side. Big Mama said always choose the right side. Mama said if you do what's right, God gonna take care of the rest. So do what you already know is right. Tell the truth, shame the devil, and run these motherfuckers out of here with the truth. Yeah, all of the books is way more in depth than the movies. The movies are watered down versions of the books, unless they was straight from a script. Yeah, I'm in Michigan too, man. I heard I was asleep. I was resting because I don't really sleep, but I was resting last night. And I don't know if it was in the astral or in the physical, but I heard the loudest bang I ever heard. It sounded like the earth had ran into a brick wall.
Hey man, I ain't gonna lie. Now this wasn't 2011 for me. I'm down here like I'm in Alabama, right? And where I stay at in Alabama, I'm like 2 minutes away from Georgia, straight up. You know what I mean? Phoenix City and Columbus, they're sister cities, even though they sit in 2 different states. Man, I remember, man, it had to be, because I've been independent and on my own since 2019, 2018, somewhere up in there. So, and I was with the district for 3 years before then. So that was 2000. So this had to be like 2013, 2014, man. I heard the loudest motherfucker. I'm talking about this shit was so loud, it felt like, I'm being honest with you, like, cause I'm a firmament, I believe in the firmament type shit. Like straight up, you call me crazy, I don't give a damn, like straight up. Again, you gotta be able to entertain thoughts without accepting them over here, alright? So, I get it. But anyway, let's say a firmament is up there. That shit was so loud, man. That shit felt like goddamn God himself had balled up his fist and hit that motherfucker like boom. I'm talking about till today, right now, I've never heard anything that shook me to my bone. I felt that shit in my bone marrow. I felt that shit in my soul, boy. I'm talking about, man, that shit scared me so bad, I thought the world was over. And everybody I talked to felt the same goddamn way. We still have no explanation. They talking about a sonic boom. Man, a sonic boom ain't that fucking loud, man. That way you can hear this shit 50 miles away, bro, and feel it the same way I feel it. Man, this shit was felt across the whole central eastern part of Alabama and the whole western part of Georgia, central of Georgia, man. Like, that shit was loud, bro. And it sparked my memory because of what he's saying. And I don't even know, like, and then later on that day, after that shit, I remember seeing clouds in the sky, and it was like some pink and light blue, purplish lightning shit going on inside the cloud. That shit just was strange as hell to me, but I remember that shit plain as day. It was some of the weirdest, some of the scariest shit I have ever experienced in my life. I was at work, bro, and that shit felt like goddamn, like a motherfucker had dropped a nuke or some shit, bro. I don't know what it was.
That's the sign right there on the highest levels, because that shit was so fucking loud, I damn near stood up. Never heard nothing that loud. Each one teach one. We all might reach some. I'm telling y'all what to do. Do a free Larry Hoover live on your shit. Go live on your page. If it's 3 minutes long, if it's 60 seconds. If you don't know what to say, say, I don't know what to say, but I know from the standpoint of the people of the land, we need to get Larry Hoover free. You ain't got to say nothing else. Post that shit. And tell everybody and all of y'all, say the same thing, post the same thing, because that's how we reclaiming our shit. This our shit. We ain't taking nothing from nobody. They took it from us. Right? We didn't take anything from anybody. They took it from us. We didn't swear to be anybody's enemy, but they swore to be our enemy. We didn't swear none of them blood oaths. They swore all of those blood oaths to steal what was ours by keeping us deluded as to who we were. It's up to us. It ain't up to them. They don't have no control over us unless we surrender control. I ain't surrendering shit. I ain't stopping. I ain't backing down, and I ain't shutting the fuck up. We need to see 3 kings on the land. Period. Yeah. There's principalities in this shit, says Big Worm. It's principalities. We finna bust they principalities in their principal head. Right?
Something just hit me. Y'all remember that movie Ice Cube was in? I think it was George Clooney, Ice Cube, and I forget the third person. I want to say it was the Jason Bourne guy, Matt Damon. I want to say it was them 3. And they had that movie called 3 Kings. Y'all remember that movie? Ain't that some shit? I'm just for real. Just remember that. Like, they had a movie called 3 Kings. It was Ice Cube, George Clooney, and I think it was Matt Damon. 3 Kings. And they was in the Middle East, and they were trying to steal the treasures or some shit like that. They had came up on the liquor or whatnot, and it was some shit like that. I forget the whole premise of it, but I remember the damn movie. When he said 3 kings walking the land, that's immediately what hit my head, that movie. Like, this is crazy, man. This is crazy.
Hey, and what's the principle? The principle is the thing in which the debt is predicated upon. Because without the principle, you don't have a debt. Yep. Y'all doing all of the weather reporting. I'm telling y'all, this shit is a wrap. Mother Earth gonna shit. I don't have to do nothing but tell y'all. And the more I tell y'all and the more people click, the more Mother Nature wake up. And the more Mother Nature wake up, we don't see these three kings, the more she's going to raise hell. That's all. That's all. Big Mama don't play. Right? Big Mama don't play.
Big Mama don't play.
She tell her boys to go get something. Y'all keep underestimating these country boys. Y'all must don't know all of the game in the hood came from the South. Everybody that you know that called themselves a master in the streets is using the game that came from the South.
Yep.
We used to send people to New Orleans to learn how to function in every major city around the land. New Orleans was a training ground for the game that we call street game. We call it living off the fat of the land and learning how to use the land without hurting the people. That's what we called it. Right? Living off the fat of the land, you ain't supposed to hurt the people. So, these motherfuckers is charging y'all money for shit, they lying to you. They just trying to get rich. I'm not charging nobody for nothing. I'm just gonna tell this shit. The rest of it gonna sort it out, because I know this. This is why I don't charge. When we get our shit back, Big Mama open the vault. Right? And she's only gonna open it at a National Oshun celebration. The return of the Sweetwater celebration from coast to fucking coast mean that we got rid of the goddamn devil. They gone. But you ain't getting that shit while we warlocked. We locked in war. We been in war the whole time. We never surrendered. We never backed down. We tried to negotiate peace, and they violated every treaty to negotiate peace. They don't want peace with us. They want us to bow down, be submissive, subservient slaves to their system of oppression, subjugation, child molestation, kidnapping, and rape. They want us to support this agenda of the bloodletting rituals of mass slaughterhouses. You don't slaughter anything in mass, period. Fish, birds, cattle, none of that shit. You only kill the animals to feed the family. And everybody's not supposed to be meat eaters, but everybody ain't supposed to be vegan either. When you get to your tribal cuisine, it's going to feel different to your body because it's going to automatically be soul food to you. And your soul food is the food that invigorates all of your genetic memory to kick in and tell you who you are and where you came from and why you like what you like.
Hey, that's a fact, man. Because when people be talking about eating healthy and eating vegan, like, look at me, man. I've never, people be talking about, I remember when I was young, they said, oh, you keep on eating. When you get such and such age, that weight gonna jump on you. I done passed them certain ages that they talking about, and I'm still pretty much the same size. I done gained muscle. I ain't gained no fat. And I love me some fat. I'm gonna keep it 100. Like, I'm a pig feet eating nigga. Like, I like pigtails, nigga, hog maws, nigga. I like greens, nigga. Like peas, green, potato, tomato. Yeah, I like that shit. That's me, bruh. Look, bro, I'm in seventh heaven. But that's my cuisine. That's what my grandma cooked. That's what her mama cooked. That's what her mama cooked. Like, this is what we do down here where I'm at. I'm from Alabama. You feel what I'm saying? Like, this is where I'm from. My people from here. My people from the island, man. I ain't even tell y'all who all I've been found in my tradition as far as the bloodline and things of that nature. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, man, my shit run very, very deep. I love seafood. I love the fuck out seafood. I love the fuck out soul food, like real life soul food, like pinto beans, 15 bean soup. Like, I like that type of food. I can eat that shit all day, every day, boy, and I don't really gain shit. Point blank period. Now, yeah, don't get it twisted. I work out. You know what I mean? I got a pretty cool workout ritual, but shit, that don't mean shit. Cause I see motherfuckers that don't eat nowhere near as much as me, and they gain a lot of weight. So, in that, eating like that, like he said, it's soul food. And when you start understanding what soul food is, those memories that is in your genetic makeup, that shit start to come back, and you start to realize who you really are. You feel what I'm saying? Just like when they tell you, you are what you eat. All of it comes back. And that phrase goes, well, that phrase applies to a lot. It just doesn't apply to the food. It applies to what you read, what you see, what you hear, what you experience. See what I'm saying? All that you eating on some type of level. But just on food levels, I understand exactly where you're coming from with that.
Right? And stop being so fucking judgmental you can see through shit. We all want to tell somebody else you don't know what he talking about. Fuck that nigga. They don't investigate. Right? So I tell the motherfucker, before you come fucking with me, make sure you go through my catalog thoroughly and look at the receipts, and you're going to understand I'm not just talking. Right? So when I did the Fuck Your Ding video, right? The video prior to that was an Islamic related discussion because the Moors had came at me. They dropped the Moors science assault and they came at me with a straight Islamic assault. So I addressed that shit. I addressed it because I had to address it because I had to put it in the public domain for the people to see that some bullshit don't got nothing to do with us. Right? So we don't care if Muslims come over here and practice their religion as long as they don't try to force it on the Christians. We don't care if the Christians practice their religion as long as they don't force it on the Jews. We don't care if the Jews, Christians, and Muslims practice their religion, but now that they're trying to force it down the throat of the people of the land, we got a problem. Now we got to bust that shit in the Badussi. We have to dissect it, rip it open, and find out where it came from, who put it together, and what's its purpose.
Anytime you see that, what he talking about, and the purpose he talking about is domination. Point blank period. It's domination. You're trying to rule over people if you won't allow people to practice what they practice. Like everybody is entitled to live how they want to live, point blank period. But when you start trying to force it and indoctrinate people into your shit, that's when we got a problem. That's when you got to go back and you got to re-engineer this shit and see, all right, let me see exactly where this shit come from. What fruit is this tree bearing? You feel what I'm saying? And then we can deal with that shit accordingly.
Religions is created in Rome. Your three monotheistic religions are Roman origin. They was written under the orders of Constantine in order to spread his rule around the world. And then when Rome allegedly fell, power was ceded into the hand of the Pope, which he had a triple crown to indicate political, military, and religious power. Right? So we know who it is doing this shit. We need to stop taking sides with some 1,400-year-old doctrine that has nothing to do with us. 2,000-year-old doctrine that has nothing to do with us, or a 4,000-year-old doctrine that has nothing to do with us. Because while they was over there in their feudal system warring clans, we was over here warring clans too. But the thing about us, we might fight among each other, but we promise you this: we'll burn this bitch down, get us pissed. Right, Pop? They already know. We know. It's been already put in the public domain that we know everything they did.
Hey, that's a good point to cut it at, man. I'm damn near an hour and a half in, and I know I be looking at my analytics, and y'all, I do good if you motherfuckers look at the videos through 30 minutes. So I know the attention span just ain't there. So I'm gonna cut it right here, man. I'm right like it maybe halfway through, a little bit over halfway through this video. So I probably will make a part 2 of this one, because I'm having fun with this one. Rod Hayes and rap form on this one. But just straight up, that's what Pac meant. We'll promise you, you know, we might fight amongst each other, but I promise you this: we'll burn this bitch down. You get us pissed. Live and die in LA, baby. You feel what I'm saying? And when you start understanding exactly what Pac was dealing with, you know what I'm saying? Like, he understood exactly his arena. He understood the assignment. Ain't that what y'all say? Understand the assignment? He understood the assignment. You know what I mean? So we can say what we want to say about these people that come before us, but man, we got to look at what they actually did. And then now You also got to understand that even in the situation that we in, Rod, I wanted to close right there because he made a great point. You see what I'm saying? Like, we was already doing what they were doing over there. That's one of the things that they don't want us to know. They want us to think that we were just brought over here, we was a barbaric people and this, that, and the third, and yada, yada, boom, boom. No, man. No. If that was the case, why in the fuck they burnt down Black Wall Street? If you so far ahead mentally of some of a certain people, why would you do that? And again, I ain't talking about all y'all, man. It's a small group of people that is the problem. Trust me, it ain't 99% of people. It's 1%. Shit, that's the problem. But that 1%, if you're talking about the population, that's a lot of fucking people with a lot of fucking influence and people. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the issue. And it's like, we ain't even got to be like this. Straight up. This the land of milk and honey. This the big melting pot. It's enough for everybody. Just point blank, period. But you cannot continuously put a people at the bottom and think it's okay and get pissed off when these people are finally coming to a realization that, hey man, we belong at the table, not to be on the menu. We done been on the menu and we still ain't buck. It's all been civil all the time. It's all been accordingly. You see what I'm saying? That's how life is supposed to work. Like, it ain't in us to operate how they operate. Just point blank, period. But it's other things on our side. And that's what Rod is saying. It's God. I'm just keeping it 100. Like, that's what it is. It's this energy. It's on our side. You feel what I'm saying? Like, think about it. Our folks tell us, like, I know my grandma used to tell me, don't put yourself in a position to let a person do you wrong. Number one. Always defend yourself. But also, in a situation where a person wrongs you, like on some petty shit, and you got an opportunity to get them back, nah, just turn the other cheek on that. Like, that person gonna get what's coming to them. You see what I'm saying? And it works like that for certain people, but it don't work like that for other people. Like, it worked like that for me. I don't know about y'all. Like, when I do what I need to do in life, I'm successful. But when I fall for the okie doke and I fall for the bullshit, I have bad luck that happens. That's just me. And that's how I can understand, like, okay, this how I need to be moving. Because I know how to dismiss the shit that my wants from my needs. I know how to differentiate from what's important and what's not important. Just like with this YouTube thing. Like, I'm being honest with you. When I first jumped in the Rod Hayes bag, man, the shit went to doing so good. I know a lot of y'all don't want to even see this part because you don't watch the videos all the way through. But it went to doing so good, I got scared. Why? Because I was scared of the success I may have, and just jumping out there in a lane and second guessing myself. And then I started to get off track. Then I started to report on or diagnose things that really don't even make no sense. Don't even have nothing to do with nothing, because it's more pressing issues like getting the people to a certain mind state or a certain frequency. And if I report on these things, I'm maintaining that lower frequency. And so now when I do switch it back up, we're going through what I had to go through, and I see the success that I have when I make these Rod Hayes videos, it's like, okay, yeah, I see this is the move. You see what I'm saying? Fuck what anybody think. Like, you know what you got to be doing. Big, she ain't playing. Like, get back on task. And when you get back on task, everything seems to pan out or whatnot. You see what I'm saying? That's where we at. So it's no issue. It's just that we have to recognize what the deal is out here. We can't sit here and keep on acting like certain people don't have rights. Our people don't have the same rights as other races. or other races of people can or come over here and they live a better lifestyle than what we live. And we over here. And we done did damn near everything that we can possibly do for this land and this agreement, this so-called agreement that we supposed to have allegedly. This relationship. And honestly, we've never been hostile about it. Ever. We've never been the aggressors. Ever. Because the aggression ain't in us like that. That's why we have so much negative music and negative entertainment in our culture, because it's the only way that we can adapt to that aggressive state. Point blank period. And then on top of that, you put us in a lesser situation. So now that I'm feeling less, and you compile all this other emotional bullshit, this energy and motion all the time, and it's trauma-based. Trauma-based now. Self-hate based. Nobody's happy with themselves based. Greed based. Lust based. You got us. But that shit got to stop, dog. And I'm telling you, only thing you got to do is look at every damn thing that's going on in the world, and you should see that everything is getting exposed. The problem is, we like the bullshit. That's it. We like the bullshit. So since we like it, and since we want to continue to be cool, won't nobody really speak up in mass about the bullshit that they know if we stop, we can move forward. Nobody had a problem with motherfucker talking, like even with the love songs back in the gap when I was growing up. Nobody had a problem with them. We can get back to that. But no, the bitches in the hoes, like even women, like think about it. We got self-respecting women out here that hold themselves to the highest degree, right? If you call them a bitch or a hoe, it's going down. But they listening to the songs where they are being called bitches and hoes. And this coming from a guy that used those type of terms in the songs because I once too thought it was okay. But it ain't. And having a daughter helped me realize that. Because all these women are somebody's daughter, man. And to me, you got to be some type of fucked up not to care about that as a man. But I'ma digress, you know what I mean? Because I can freestyle and I can go and I can spill on a lot of these topics, man. But y'all tell me what you think in the comments. You know what I mean? Do you think that this was a informative video? Because I like what I like exactly where he was going. I think he dropped a lot of gems tonight, and you know he got me actually pumped up a couple of times. But leave it in the comments. Tell me what you think, man. Any questions that you got, leave them in the comments. You know what I mean? Like, this is what we doing this for. You know what I mean? Like, straight up, one thing that Rod said before I close is, you know, he ain't trying to make nothing off of it. And I salute him for that. That's one reason I really, really pay attention to him. Because it seemed like he always in his grandmama room. if you pay attention to the scenery, like that looked like a grandmama's room. You see what I'm saying? Like that, my grandmama had a dresser with that type of mirror. You see what I'm saying? Like with shit wrapped up in plastic in the back. Like that's some grandmama shit. And the way he coming off, like it really give you that vibe. So and not even the vibe, but it's just that, you know, he's just doing it on IG Live on some real G shit. So I salute him for that, and that's one reason that I rock when he different than everybody else. You see what I'm saying? Because it ain't really about the paper. If you're gonna get, you know, whatever you're doing, if you're doing it for the right reason, man, you're gonna be compensated for it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, why try to get rich? Like I look at a lot of brothers that came on the scene and they went to spitting knowledge, and then with the money came problems. And then you seen an awkward fall from grace from a lot of them. And I ain't name dropping, but y'all know who I'm talking about. And I just think that you got to be careful. I ain't telling you not to monetize your page, but have integrity in anything that you do. And too much of anything ain't good. So with that being said, man, if you made it this far, make sure you hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell, make sure you hit the like button if you like the video, man. To all my day ones, I salute. To all the ones that just came in and you liking what you hearing, welcome to the club. You know what I mean? This is the Daniel Diagnosis. We're a bunch of doctors over here, I guess you could call us. We got a PhD. It ain't a player hating degree, but you know, we do what we do. With that being said, man, I am Keith Daniel. This is the Daniel Diagnosis. Thank you for tuning in. Till next time, good people. Peace.